Welcome back to the Upper Echelon Podcast where we keep it real and we keep it jiggy over here. Because why? Because we ain't never, ever scared. Please hit that like button on your way in. Also, do not neglect to hit the notification bell. Also, if you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can catch any new content that I decide to put out. If you would like to monetarily sponsor my channel, you can see the Cash App right there at the bottom left-hand corner. It's $Phoenix, PHOENIX 20137. Anything will be appreciated. $1, $10, $20. Okay, let's get started. I figured that what's going on, y'all? I figured I would get started and go ahead and go live a little bit early because I saw nobody else was live. Or ain't nobody live talking about nothing for real. So I figure I'll go ahead and go live with this topic because this topic has really been eating away at me for a very, very long time. What's going on, my Lux Pearl? Hey, my Tabby. Hey, I'm Chosen. Who else? Hey, Creesha. Hey, Messy Amber. Y'all, there's something wrong with that girl. There's something wrong with Amber ass. I swear to God. Amber Page done had so many damn different names at this point. That she is hilarious. Let's see who else is in the room. Also, let me just say this too. I did notice that a lot of you guys that follow me here or are subscribed to me here on YouTube have also been adding me on Facebook. And I've been seeing some of you guys on Facebook. Some of you guys have been popping up in the people I may know. And I go ahead and add y'all. But if you all want to add me, let me show you. Hold on. Let me just share real quick my Facebook in case you want to follow me on Facebook, because I'm kind of active on there. It's not like I'm posting any content or anything, but, I post statuses and, it's a little bit more personal, I guess you can say, more personal than YouTube. Now, I do have two Facebook pages. One of my Facebook pages I don't use because I forgot the password to it. So I had to like do another Facebook page. So sometimes when people try to add me, they get confused because they add the old page. So I'm going to show you guys what my current page look like. And it's confusing because it's the exact same profile picture. So this is my Facebook page right here, and this is what it looks like. The cover photo, and the cover photo is sunflowers, and then like it's on a business setting profile. So instead of friends, it'll say followers. So yeah, you guys can add my Facebook. Of course, my name is B, and everybody know Brittany, but my name is B on Facebook, B Jackson. So go ahead and follow my Facebook page if you haven't already. We're going to get into this topic really quick. Let me give my shout outs real quick to everybody that is in the room. I know I already spoke to my moderators. What's going on? Stephanie Landry. Hey, Cheryl Wagner. Hey, Lasonder. Hey, Renizzle. Hey, K Monet. Sunshine, Nola, Bunny, Rewa, Tremel, Brittany Tyner, Cheryl Phillips. I think I said hey to Cheryl already. Let's see. Beverly Phillips. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. So let's get into the topic. So basically today, the reason why I wanted to cover this, and I'm gonna tell y'all, right, my channel is most definitely going to take a turn in a whole different direction. I don't really want to say what direction my channel is going to go in just yet because I'm not necessarily sure myself, but it's so many things, y'all. It's so many things and so many stories that I want to cover. And then obviously it's so easy when you're coming out of the LaTrue saga. It's so easy to go ahead and get distracted by stuff that's going on. But, I feel like I'm really, really quite done with that stuff. And there's so many stories that deserve to be covered, and so many things that should be awareness should be brought to. And that's kind of what I want to do on my channel, but I'm not going to really delve into exactly what just yet because I'm still working on things as far as ideas and brainstorming different stories, and I'm still looking or not looking over, but researching certain things about different stories. But this particular story that I want to bring some awareness to today, and that's what I want my page to really be about moving forward, is bringing awareness to stories that I feel like have not been covered enough, or it's just so many unanswered questions. And I want to go over, the details of some of these stories or cases with my audience, and we can kind of brainstorm and look over some of this stuff together. But today, what we're going to start with is, obviously, if you all saw my thumbnail, we're going to talk about the Kiera Coles case today. And, the Kiera Coles case. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, Miss White. Did I miss anybody? Hey, A. Stokes. We're going to go over the Kiera Coles case today. Now, obviously, everybody, well, not everybody, but most people know what the Kiera Coles case is about. And it's very, very near and dear to my heart, even though I didn't know the girl, because, she was from my city. This girl has been missing for, I want to say, 5 years now. She went missing October of 2000 and damn. She's been missing since October of 2018. And a lot of people have really been putting a lot of focus on, like, where could she be? Where is she at? Why is the Chicago Police Department not really putting any focus into finding her? At this point, it's pretty much a cold case. It doesn't seem like anybody's doing anything. The parents still have birthday parties for her, even though she's not there. They do a memorial, I would say that more so, a memorial party for her every year here in Chicago, and a lot of people show up to it. It's just so bizarre how she went missing, and I really want to get into this case because there's a lot of unanswered questions. There's a lot of things that I want to know, as far as what are the Chicago police doing? What have they done? What haven't they done? Because when you really look at the details of the case, it just seems like such an open and shut case. It almost seems like a kindergartner could solve the case, because when you look at it, it's more than obvious. Like Lux Pearl just said, he did it. And that is why I put Josh Simmons as my thumbnail, because I do believe that her boyfriend did this to her. Now, Kiera, hold on one second, y'all, because we're getting ready to get in. Let me share my screen. Let me share this really quick. No, you know what? I don't want to share that just yet. What I want to tell y'all before we get into it. This is just for the people who are unaware of the case, right? So I'm going to read over a little bit of this article, and let me read over a little bit of this article just to educate the people who may not know. Let's see. Okay. Exactly what this case is about. Okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me pull this up. And if I'm choppy, let me know, y'all. Okay. Okay, you guys, let's see who else came in, and then we'll get started with the story. Yes, D-Mail, I'm going to give you guys a backstory. Welcome, D-Mail. Hey, Savvy. Okay, so let's get into the story. So, obviously, this woman here pictured in the corner here is Kiera Coles. This girl went missing in Chicago, Illinois. We're going to look over this article real quick. I'm going to read it to you guys so y'all can get up to date before we delve into the evidence and everything that happened in the case, and why I believe that Josh Simmons is the one that's responsible for her disappearance. Now, this article that was published in 2022 states Kiera Coles has been missing since 2018. And Tuesday, Chicago police released a video showing some of the pregnant postal workers' final moments before her disappearance. We just want Kiara brought home safe, Karen Phillips, Kiara's mother said. Kiara Coles has been missing since October 2nd, 2018, when she was 26 years old. Chicago police Tuesday released some of the last images of her before she vanished. At approximately 10:43 p.m., Kiara Coles was seen on surveillance video. 2 ATM withdrawals at a business in the 8600 block of South Cottage Grove. Chicago Police Department Homicide Lieutenant William Silver said Kiara, postal worker who was 3 months pregnant, exited the business 3 minutes later. Now, this is 3 minutes after she withdrew the money from the ATM. These are the last recorded images of Kiara. It was just days of searching and passing out flyers and praying. After searching through hours of video, police put together a timeline of her disappearance. During the course of that night, Kiara entered her residence in the 8100 block of South Vernon. Lieutenant Silver said a man who police identified as a person of interest also arrived and entered the residence. Kiara and the man later got into her car and drove off with Kiara in the driver's seat. Minutes later, Kiara was seen on surveillance video using the ATM. Okay, so let's follow this, y'all. So basically, on the night of her disappearance, surveillance video sees Kiara going into her house on it says here on 81st and South Vernon. Not only that, but a man is also seen on a surveillance video entering the residence with her. And then afterwards, they left out of the residence. They got back into her car and they drove off with Kiara driving. Now, I do find it interesting that I can't find any articles online that states who this person was who was in the car with her. It's almost like it goes without saying, but you can't really say that it was Josh Simmons because none of these articles are saying it was Josh Simmons. The reason why I'm going to assume that the person that was driving in the car was allegedly Josh Simmons is because he was the only person named as a person of interest in the case. He no longer is though. But we're going to get into that. Let me turn my hold on one second, y'all. Okay, hold on, y'all. He no longer is a person of interest anymore, however. And that is what I'm confused about. So let's continue on with the article. Now, we stopped at the part where this quote unquote person of interest, this man got back into the car with Kiara. Kiara got in the driver's seat. After they left the home, minutes later, Kiara was seen on surveillance video using the ATM. So they both Kiara and this mystery man, person of interest, drove to the store over there on 86 in Cottage Grove and went to the ATM. Police said less than an hour later, that same vehicle was seen parking in another area of the city. The person of interest gets out of the passenger side of the car, but no one exited the driver's side. Come on, guys. So the police are saying that less than an hour later, so they have this on video. It says minutes later, Kiara was seen on surveillance video using an ATM. Police said less than an hour later, the same vehicle was seen parking in another area of the city. The person of interest, aka Josh Simmons, her boyfriend, the person of interest gets out of the passenger side of the car, but no one exited the driver's side. So what does that tell y'all? That tells me that the person of interest is the one that drove the car, and before he exited the vehicle, he slid over or climbed over to the passenger side and exited on the passenger side of the vehicle. There's no way in the world it wasn't a ghost driving. So whoever got out of the car drove. No one else got out of that parked vehicle except for the person of interest. Okay. What type of rocket scientist do you have to be for, if you ask me, this is enough evidence in itself to at least maybe not convict, but to at least charge someone with first degree unaliving. This is enough, in my opinion. Any attorney worth a damn, in my opinion, should be able to give me 1 second, child. Let me pull something up real quick, because we're gonna really get into this, because I feel like the Chicago Police Department really needs to be held accountable for basically throwing this case to the side, not doing what they were supposed to do, not taking this thing seriously. The reason why this case hasn't been taken seriously, and still isn't being taken seriously, is because this is a young lady that is a person of color. Period, point blank. This is if anything, when you read over this article, this has to be the messiest, world's dumbest criminal. Anybody could piece this together, right? So let's pick up where we left off. The next day, the person of interest, and they don't want to say Josh Simmons' name, but that's who it is allegedly, is seen parking Kiara's vehicle near her residence before entering the building and exiting with unknown items. Let's read that again. The next day, okay, now this is the next day after Kiara was seen going to the ATM, withdrawing the money, getting back in the car with the person of interest. Okay, then the person of interest drove to another part of the city, okay, got out on the passenger side, and no one else exited the vehicle, according to CCTV. So that person of interest was the only person driving the car. It says here, the next day, the person of interest is seen parking Kiara's vehicle near her residence before entering the building and exiting with unknown items. So the same person of interest then was seen parking Kiara's vehicle. If you wouldn't it now, why is this not a big deal for CPD? When I say CPD, I'm referring to Chicago Police Department. Why is this not a big deal for CPD? This young lady is missing. We don't know when she went missing. All we know is the surveillance video, and I'm gonna pull that video up in a minute, that we've seen over the past maybe 15 hours or so before she went missing. She's missing while this surveillance camera is picking up this person of interest, not only driving her vehicle, but parking the vehicle in front of her home, entering her apartment building, and then exiting with unknown items. The man was then seen driving off in his vehicle parked on the street overnight. When he was questioned, the police said he gave varying accounts of the last time he saw her. Let me look at some of these comments. What more do you need? Attention needs to be brought to this case. I'm gonna go right back to this article, but let me tell y'all something, right? I hate to stop reading through the article because I don't want to forget where I left off. But there is a term that anybody that is within the law enforcement field, all attorneys, judges, there is a term called corpus delicti. It's spelled C-O-R-P-U-S. Corpus stands for corpse. It is a Latin term. Delicti. Now, corpus delicti means body of crime. And it basically means, without, in layman's terms, it means that you are able to convict someone without an actual body as evidence that the person has been unalived. So basically saying that there is so much evidence, so many strange circumstances around this person's disappearance, and so much evidence against you, that it is possible to prove that this person could not be alive. Like, what is a good example? They were trying to use, I don't know if you guys remember the Casey Anthony case. Yes, she got off, but before she got off, The prosecutors were going the route of corpus delicti. They wanted to prosecute her for a unaliving of the child. Before they ended up eventually finding the child, but before they found the child, they were trying to convict her for the unaliving of that child. So much evidence that the child cannot be alive. They found DNA in the mom's car. The mom's car smelled like an unalived body. The young girl lied about the last time she saw the girl. She lied about the babysitter. So there was so many different things that showed that this child could not be alive, right? So in this situation, we see on CCTV this girl with this man up until her final moments. For all we know, that was from, according to CCTV, this was the last person that she was seen alive with. My question is, why is this person not being questioned further? Why is he not being questioned further? Who are the detectives on this case? I've been thinking about this case since 2018. And as the years have gone on and on and on, and I believe now it's been probably 5, maybe even 6, but I'm 18. Hold on, 19. It's been 6 years. It'll be 6 years in October of this year. And every year I think they still haven't found that girl. They still haven't found that girl. And they still are letting this person get away with her unaliving. At this point, with all of this evidence, you guys, look, I mean, come on. You know, Stevie Wonder could see that he had something to do with it. If he didn't do it, if he did, I don't even want to say have something to do with it, allegedly. I believe that he did it, period. Let's pick up where we left now that we covered corpus delicti. We cover corpus delicti, the Latin term in law that says that you do not need a physical corpse to convict someone of unaliving. So if what's going on here is a lot of lazy detective work. That's what's going on here. So let's see where we picked up. The person of interest gets out of the past. We read that part. We read the part where he parked his vehicle, or he was actually driving Kiera's vehicle. And then he goes and he takes some things out of her apartment because he goes in empty-handed and comes out with unknown items. And then he gets in his vehicle that he parked there overnight and he leaves Kiera's vehicle. Okay, then they said that when the police questioned him, he gave varying accounts of the last time that he saw. The only person that was a person of interest was Josh Simmons. So we have to be talking about the ex-boyfriend here. Okay, if a lot of you guys are unaware, Josh Simmons was Kiera Cole's boyfriend. Josh Simmons and Kiera Coles were dating for 6 years. They were both working at the postal at the USPS, at the United States Postal Service, together. Not only that, but Joshua Simmons had another girlfriend. And the other girlfriend, he had 2 kids by. And the other girlfriend also worked for the United States Postal Service. Okay, I ain't trying to jump the gun, but come on now. Then, he's already dealing with somebody seriously because he has 2 kids with someone else. He's on the low dating Kiera Coles. Kiera ends up getting pregnant. I feel like that was the issue. I feel like he didn't want anybody to know. And even if people did know, he surely didn't want her getting pregnant because he already had his own family. However, he had been sneaking around with her for 6 years. I believe, allegedly, that he unalived this girl because she was 3 months pregnant. He didn't want her to have the baby. That's what I believe. All 3 of these people, himself and both of his girlfriends, which would include Kiera, were working at the United States Postal Service. Kiera goes missing. Shortly after Kiera goes missing, shortly after he's named a person of interest and questioned by the police, he then leaves town. He does not help the family look for his girlfriend of 6 years. He has varying accounts of the story. What more do these people need? Not only that, but the evidence that has been shown on surveillance camera. Even if they don't find Kiera, they at least owe the family enough to investigate this man. That's the least that they can do, is to put a little bit more in. I feel like this is the type of case where the police or the detective slack on it, it turns cold, and then 20 years later, a detective comes in and solves it because it was obvious as hell from the jump. Um, Police interviewed her family, friends, searched her apartment, personal belongings, vehicle, and social media pages. Still nothing. I don't believe that. Her family just wants her back and are pleading with anyone that has any information. I would love to see her with her child, Karen Phillips, Kiera's mother said. She is such a mothering person. While initial surveillance video released by CPD was not closed, I'm going to show y'all that video. Initially, I want to say maybe a few weeks after Kiera Coles went missing, and the whole city was in a frenzy. People were talking about it. The CPD did eventually release one of the neighbors in Kiera Cole's building actually had surveillance video on their building and was able to pick up what they thought was Kiera Cole's. Now, the mom and the police are both saying that that wasn't Kiera Cole's, but I know what a USPS uniform looks like. The mom said it wasn't her daughter. She knows her daughter. Even though the video is grainy, but I really feel like they should take a second look at that video. I'm not saying it's her or not, but I'm gonna show it to y'all in a minute. But I feel like, what are the odds? You know what I'm saying? Investigators and Cole's family hope everyone will stop to check new images and try to close this cold case. You guys, what's crazy is, I hate to keep stopping, but what's crazy is, let me read some of these comments. Well, hold on before I read the comments. What's crazy is a lot of these missing person cases, if you just use a little bit of common sense and play just a little game of who done it in your mind for long enough, everything starts to add up and everything starts to make sense. And the stuff that's not making sense is you picking up on that as well. And to me, this case is, I feel like a rookie could solve it. So I just find it's so unfortunate that they're not putting a little bit more effort into even if not finding her, because at this point, who's to say that they ever will? But at least don't let this person get away with unaliving her. Because I do believe, obviously, at this point that she's been unalived. I feel like there's no way that she's alive. I think I saw a video of her mom a couple of years ago, it was some years ago, where she was still keeping hope. And, I thought that was so sad because, common sense probably would, tell a person that, if a person's been missing for 3-4 years at this point, they're probably no longer with us. But that grief and that hope and that love for her daughter just wouldn't let her just come to terms with the fact of reality that, if you haven't seen her in 4 years and she was pregnant, she's probably no longer with us. That's a hard thing to accept. So it says, if you know something, say something. This has been going on too long. I just hope that anybody out there who knows something has a heart and finally calls in, Phillips said. That's her mom. Tuesday afternoon, community organizers prepared for the 5th annual March We Walk for Her at 5 p.m. at 35th and King Drive. The purpose of this event is to bring attention to all of the unsolved cases of missing women and girls of color. What's most important is Kiera Cole's case, and every Cole case gets the attention it deserves in Black and brown communities. Coles was a letter carrier. She would be a mother of a young child now. I can't let her down, her mother said. I have to do all I can to bring her and her child home safe. Okay, now this is her mom talking. And this article was published in June of 2022. Her daughter went missing in October of 2018. At this point, her daughter had been missing almost 4 years, and she's still saying, I can't let her down. I have to do all that I can to bring her and her child home safe. That's sad, man, because anybody else that's looking at this case knows, obviously, that Kiera is, no longer with us. But her mom, like I said, she has to keep that hope, I think, to keep going. Cole's mother said the painful void remains for their family, but hope someone with information will ease their suffering. Anybody with information is asked to contact the police at cpdtip.com. Again, that's C as in Chicago, P as in police, D as in department, tip, TIP.com, cpdtip.com. If you have any tips on this case, I feel like the whole case is a tip. What other kind of tip could they call? What other kind of tip could they call in? I'm gonna go to this video. Let me stop sharing this screen real quick. Because I want to share something. Let me read some of these comments, and I'm gonna go to this surveillance video real quick. Chicago Police Department is full of crap. I know it's a lot of crime out here and a lot of stuff going on, but when you have a high-profile case like this with such obvious clues and things like that, and then I also wondered this, like, when they were investigating the case, were they looking at the obvious stuff? Did they take because they said that they found her phone still in her car, her cell phone. Did you do a forensic search on her cell phone? Did you ping it? Did you ping her cell phone to pick up where it was and what time it was there? Did you match those pings to Josh Simmons' phone? Did you take his phone as well and see if you could ping their phones and see if they're in the same locations at the same time? If you would have gotten Josh Simmons' phone, which I don't think they have, if they would have gotten Josh Simmons' phone at that time, it's probably too late now. But if they would have got it then, they probably would have been able to track his location and then match the location to her phone. Right? And if they were able to do that, then they could see that Josh Simmons' phone was with her phone when her phone was left in her car, which is the last place that they found it. If his phone was in the same location as her phone, when it finally stopped in that location in front of her house, parked in her parked car, then you would know that he was the last person with her. Come on, it's like they're not even trying. Have we looked at cell phone records? Have we looked at text messages? Have we looked at her last phone calls? Have we looked at transcripts of phone calls? What are we doing here? I just really feel like they're not trying. They do not care. They're not putting the work in. They're not doing any real investigative work. I challenge the Chicago Police Department to come out and say what they have done on this case. What have you done on this case? And I'm going to get to the surveillance video in a moment, but I got to rant really quick because I don't know if y'all remember, I can't even think of the name. What was the name of that girl that went missing? She went on vacation with her boyfriend, white girl. She went on vacation with her boyfriend and they both went missing, right? Then they ended up, so this is what happened. They both went missing, but then the boyfriend ended up coming home and he was he ended up coming back home without her. Do y'all remember that case? And then he ended up leaving and then they ended up finding, no, not Natalie Holloway. I'm about to look it up. Because in that particular case, hold on one second. Was it, hold on, y'all. Let me look at my comments. Y'all don't remember that case? That's her name. Gabby Patino. Remember that case? I'm talking about would not stop until they found that girl. I'm talking about they had the Coast Guard. They had helicopters. You mean to tell me that y'all was able to find Gabby Patino in the desert, in the rough terrain, with all of the bodies of water and all of the foliage and all of the trees and all of that? You were able to call in the National Guard, Coast Guard, FBI, helicopters. It was all on CNN. Why is it that we're able to find Gabby Patino in the wilderness? But y'all can't find this missing postal worker out here on the south side of Chicago. We can't look through dumpsters. We can't look in landfills. We can't look in the lakes. We can't look. There was none of that. When this case came out, the Chicago Police Department need to be held accountable. None of that was being done. None of that was being done. I didn't see. I may have missed it, but I didn't see any water searches. I didn't see any calls to search for landmines. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any helicopters. I didn't see any drones. I didn't see any of that. We as a society have to come to terms with the facts. People get mad when you talk about race, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Race does make a difference, and it does matter when it comes to these missing persons. It absolutely does. They don't do us the same as they do these missing white women and these missing white boys. They don't. They calls the FBI. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna get back to the topic, but as a matter of fact, with the Gabby Lux Pearl, with the Gabby Patino case, if y'all remember, well, I don't know why I'm so bad with names right now, but and I know somebody's gonna correct me in the chat. But when that case came out and they were doing that huge search for her, at the same time, there was a young black boy missing. He was from Illinois. The last place he was seen was a dispensary. They ended up finding his body in a lake or something. And the circumstances are still kind of sketchy. I don't know if y'all remember who I'm talking about, but it was a young black boy from Illinois, and it went national only because people started saying, hey, this kid was missing before Gabby Patino. Why is it that Gabby Patino case is blowing up and we got FBI and drones and National Guard searching for Gabby Patino, but this young black boy out here in Illinois, Kalani, what was his last name, Lux? Kalani, I forget his last name. Matter of fact, Harmony speaks. She has a personal relationship with his family, his mom. I couldn't think of his last name, but he had gone missing before Gabby Patino. All you saw, like you usually see with the black families, was the mom crying on TV, pleading for help, and then they kind of brushed it to the side. And then Gabby Patino came up, and then after that case came up, then people started, it became more obvious to the masses. Hey, wait a minute. Well, what about Kalani? Yeah. What about Kalani Day? Well, what about him? Because this was going on before Patino, but now that this case is going on, everybody done forgot about Kalani Day, and now the FBI being called and CNN and everybody for Patino, and it showed clear discrimination when it comes to missing persons in America. Period. I don't even want to say missing persons of color, because I want to say black people. I want to say black people. I don't even want to say persons of color. It seems to me like black people is no urgency. Okay, so let's get to, let me share this screen because I want to show y'all the video this is the video that, let's see, where are we? That initially came out when Kiera first went missing. This is the surveillance video that first came out, and it was discovered. What the interesting thing about this is it was discovered that the mom and the police already said, oh, that's not Kiera, but we're not going to tell the public yet. And they didn't want to tell the public that it wasn't Kiera because they said that they felt like it would interfere with the evidence or interfere with the case. Now, I do know that a lot of times when it comes to evidence and things that the police find, they don't talk about it to the press. They don't talk about it on the news because they don't want to alert any suspects. They don't want to give out any information. So if they're working on a case and they have evidence, they're not going to want to talk about it publicly. So that's understandable. But what I find weird about this is you mean to tell me that the police knew that false information was put out? And then the mom says, well, I don't think that the video that you guys released to the press is my daughter. And the police tell the mom, well, we know it's not your daughter, but don't say anything. We don't want it to interfere with the case. That's something that doesn't make any sense. But let's watch the video. I'm gonna tell y'all why I feel like this doesn't make any sense. Hold on. It's a lot of weird stuff going on with this.
He has video. I go upstairs.
Okay, so this is video of, let me look at some of my comments real quick. They definitely did, Lux. They definitely did. Treated her like she was a nuisance. But had that would have been one of their children, it would have been a big deal. You know, people never care until it's them. Hold on one second, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so this is the surveillance video that was released a couple weeks after Kiara went missing. Now, this surveillance video was on the side of one of the apartment buildings that Kiara lived next to. Could have been on her building, but we'll see in a moment. So in this particular video, this is what they released to the Chicago police, ended up releasing to the press. A lot of the news stations were playing this video. People were under the impression that this was Kiara. I kind of still believe it was Kiara. The Chicago police and mom are now saying that it wasn't Kiara. Mom is saying that the police had alerted her that it wasn't Kiara long before they let the public know. But let's watch it.
He's walking us through this video. He's saying, there she is, there she's walking down the street. You see her, she's in a post uniform. That's her.
Okay, let's see where she came from. Does it show where she came from?
A woman calls down and says, hey, my husband, he has video.
So it shows that it looked like she was walking from across the street. Her building is right here. So she's walking towards her building.
I go upstairs. He's walking us through this video. He's saying, there she is, there she's walking down the street. You see her, she's in her post uniform. That's her, that's her.
How big is that moment?
It's a car. This may hold a clue to what happened to her.
Why would she walk past her own car?
You know, that remains to be answered. She may have seen someone she knew.
Was she leaving with someone to start another life no one knew about, or being lured to a place of no return?
I'm thinking.
Okay, so as you can see, this is the person that was initially thought to be Kiara Coles. They said that she's walking past her own car. So I'm assuming one of these vehicles is her vehicle because she's walking in this direction here. So she's walking out of the sight of the camera. So you can't see exactly where she's going. The mom is saying that she doesn't feel like it's her. They don't have the same. She said the Kiara is a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller. But I think what the mom is forgetting, I'm not telling her she doesn't know her daughter, but I think what the mom may be forgetting is that the camera does add a few pounds on. So something or someone that might be smaller in person, they may appear a little bit larger on camera. I don't know if you guys know that, but even on any type of camera, you might appear a bit larger. And then as you can see, the quality is grainy. You can't see her face. I believe that this is my theory. Now, I'm not going with their theory. I'm not even going with the mom's theory. This is my theory. My theory is that that's Kiara. I'm sorry. I believe that is Kiara Coles in the video. I believe she's walking past her vehicle because someone is picking her up. Okay. Now remember, someone actually, let's think back, right? Think back. Now, this person that a lot of people are saying, number one, mom is saying that the girl that's walking is too big to be Kiara. if you look at the colors here, even though it's grainy, it does look like a postal service uniform. The mom is saying this is too big to be Kiara. You can't even really see the size of this person. It almost looks like a blur. And she said that this person is a little bit too tall to be Kiara. Here's my theory. And if you go with my theory, it makes sense. Kiara left out of her house because, right? She left out of her house. I don't know if there's any surveillance video of maybe an hour or so, if we can go back a little bit further before this screenshot. But I feel like if we do go back a little bit further before this shot, I feel like we'll find something. I wish that I don't know how much of the CCTV that Chicago police have, but I bet you if we go back now this is just my theory. I bet you that we will see this same person who I believe is Kiara walk out of the house and her car and everything else in her car. And then after that, then she goes back in, she comes back out and walks out of the side of the video to someone else's car, because I think someone's picking her up. Now, whoever is picking her up, I don't think that she knew that they were going to pick her up until last minute. A lot of people are saying, well, she called off work that day. So if that's Kiara, why is she wearing her uniform? Think about it, y'all. She did call off. She did call off that day. But as you can see, she has her uniform on, right? When the police discovered her car, what was in her car? Her cell phone was in her car. Her purse was in her car. Her lunch for work was in her car because she was going to work. That's why I believe that this is Kiara. What are the odds that there is a postal worker that lives? Because this is, even the police and the mom and several other people videos that I've seen also agree that this is a U.S. postal worker's uniform. And it looks like one to me. What are the odds that a postal worker with the same uniform, living in the same building, working the same shift, is coming out of the building at the same time Kiara is coming out of the building? I would like to see who this postal worker is, because they're saying that this is not Kiara and that another postal worker, someone else happens to work for the post office that works there. I would like to see that. I would like to. I don't believe that. I just simply don't believe that. I don't believe it. But let's watch the rest of it.
Leaving with someone to start another life no one
It
knew
looks like Kiara to me.
about, or being lured to a place of no return.
I'm thinking that she's walking to somebody's car. So all the video that they took
This is her mom.
off the block, that we'll be able to see exactly what car she got into and, possibly have a license plate.
Why would she be wearing her uniform if she's off work?
I was thinking maybe she decided to go back. Maybe she decided to go in, or she just put the uniform on.
Her mom don't even know, because it doesn't make any sense. It don't make, she's like, well, maybe she just decided to put the uniform on. No, y'all think, okay, there is no other explanation. She has on her postal service uniform because she had every intention to go to work. Somebody, person of interest, aka Josh Simmons, somebody contacted Kiara, and this is my theory, and said, hey, change of plans. You think you can call off today because I need us to go do A, B, and C or whatever. Ain't nobody calling off for just anybody. Now, if your baby daddy needs you to call off for something, you might call off. I believe that he asked her to call off because he was going to unalive her. That's what I believe happened. And that's why all of her work stuff was in her car. And that's why that unknown postal worker that they're saying was somebody else, when clearly to me, I think it was her, had her uniform on. That was Kiara. Okay. Let's see what else they talking about.
Chicago police declined to talk about any aspect of the case. They have not.
Surprise, surprise. Chicago Police Department refuses to talk about any aspect of the case. They're declining to speak to the press, to news, or anything, or any body of the sort. I bet they are, because they have not done anything in this case. This case, they haven't done anything in this case. Nothing. Like I said before, they could have at least checked phone records. If they had done that, if they would have checked phone records, I believe that they would have found something. I don't even believe they checked phone records. I don't even believe that they checked phone records.
Named any suspects or persons of interest. So we showed our reporting to retired Chicago homicide detective Rich Shack.
And that she's walking to.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Answered, she may have seen someone she knew.
Was she leaving with someone to start another life? Was she leaving with someone to start another life no one knew about, or being lured to a place of no return?
I'm thinking that she's walking to somebody.
First of all, check it out, right? Hold on. Cause when I get into something, y'all, I be into it, y'all. Like I feel like I should have been a detective, y'all. Hold on, let's go back to this real quick. When she first, let's go back to this. I want y'all to see something real quick.
Towards her car, this may hold a clue to what happened to her. Sitting there open, and we're so surprised because why is the car still sitting here? Hadn't been towed, anything. We're wondering, had it been fingerprinted? Does you see her? He's saying there she has video.
How this makes sense, right? Excuse the screaming in my background. My son is still awake. Y'all, I want y'all to pay attention to something. Look at the direction that she's walking from. Now that I see where she's walking from, y'all, now that I see where she's walking from, I believe that her car has to probably be, the vehicle that belongs to her is over here somewhere. Her vehicle is somewhere probably over here, because she's walking from this direction. She's walking from this direction like one of these cars is hers. This is speculation, y'all, not fact. Now let's go back.
I go upstairs. He's walking us through this. A woman calls down and says, hey, my husband, he has video. I go upstairs.
She came from this way. When she leaves back out with her bag and her uniform and stuff, she's going this way. So she is, we don't have enough information. CPD need, if anything, if they were going to release this video, the least they could have probably done is delved into it a little bit more. Like, which car is hers? Which one of these cars is hers? And then she's walking in this direction. If anything, that shows us who this is. They're saying that it's not her, but I challenge them to release the information to let us know which one of these cars is hers. Was her car parked on this side of the street or that side of the street? Because if it's parked on this side of the street, then it looked to me like she was walking from over there, so from this direction. So she parked her car over there.
Walking us through this video. He's saying there she is, there she's walking.
Look, y'all, it's making sense. If y'all look at the video, let me look. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm looking at the comments. If you look at the video, add it all together. She parks her car over here, right? Inside of her, and she has her uniform. Puts her cell phone and her purse, which was all discovered in the car when the car was discovered after she went missing. She gets out of the car after placing her stuff in the car. She walks back towards her building. Notice she comes out of the building with a bag and walks in this direction as if she's going somewhere or meeting someone or giving something to someone.
Walking down the street,
So
you see her, she's in her post uniform. That's her, that's her.
How big is that moment?
She didn't have a bag.
It's earth shattering because I think this is video of.
You know, that remains.
Okay, we saw what direction she was walking from. She walked back into the building, and now she's getting ready
To
to walk
be
out.
answered. She may have seen someone she knew.
Was she leaving with someone to start
Now, instead of going this direction, she walks into the street and it appears that she's going this way.
another life no one knew about, or being lured to a place of no return?
I'm thinking that she's
She's
walking.
going this way, not that way, this way. Now, you mean to tell me that there is another postal worker that lives in the same building as Kiera Coles, wears the same uniform as Kiera Coles, works the same shift as Kiera Coles, parked their own vehicle like Kiera Coles, then walks to get in someone else's vehicle like Kiera Coles? That's her. That's her. Lux Pearl said the cell phone is all info needed. Them folks didn't care, period. 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 All they needed, they had Kiera's cell phone. Whoever unalived her was very careless because they didn't try to destroy the cell phone. Or maybe they left her cell phone where it was because they figured, oh, I can't take it with me, because if I take it with me, even if I destroy it, they will still be able to pull up from the phone company the last place that it pinged. They were smart enough to not take it with them. But they still, I feel like, should have done something. They could have tried to destroy it. Could have tried to, maybe even if they would have destroyed it in the car and left it there. But they just left it. I want to know if they took that vehicle in and ran fingerprints, did DNA, looked for blood. Did they do anything with her vehicle? Did they try to get any evidence out of or off of her vehicle? I didn't hear anything about that. Any other case from A to Z would have been publicized what was going on to find that person, and none of that was being done with this case. Nobody knows what the hell the CPD did. That's just too much of a coincidence that all of these things, this person in this video has the same things in common with Kiera. I'm sorry, I just don't think that. I don't think so. I think that was her. And I think that in this video, we are seeing Kiera Coles headed to her ultimate fate right there in this video. Let me stop sharing this one. It's another one I wanted to look at. There's another. Now remember, guys, this is the video that came out first, right? But all of this is happening there's another surveillance video, but remember, all of this is happening within the same day. It's just that the videos were released at different times. This is the video of what they're saying now is not her, but I still believe it is. This video was released first. Then the video of her coming into the store to get money from the ATM, that CCTV video came out last or next. And that was the very last sighting of Kiera Coles. I'm getting ready to play that video. Let's see. Okay, let's see. How do I exit this? Okay, now let me go to the video. Let's see. No, I don't want to. History. Okay. Okay, so this is the video here. Let me pull this one up. This is the one that shows her going into I believe it was like a Walgreens or something she went into. Let me look at these comments real quick before I move on. Yeah, Connie, I think it's her too. I think the mom is looking at the video and she's seeing that Kiera is not exactly the same size and height. And that was what she said, why she said she felt like it wasn't her. But I think that her mom is forgetting that when a person is on any camera, it can add height, it can add width, weight. If you may not look, you ever hear people say, oh man, they're short in person, or when they meet a celebrity, oh, I thought they were tall. because the camera makes people look gigantic sometimes when they're not. So even on CCTV, just because the image that you're seeing, which was grainy as hell, just because the image you're seeing might be a little larger than Kiera, it doesn't mean that it wasn't her. You can't see the person's face on the video. They obviously have on a postal worker's outfit, so we don't know. You know, you can't just say that wasn't her. I still believe that was her. Lux said the irony: black girl goes missing and no face in the case, yet no one blinks. But Gabby goes missing with the face, and the whole world stops to investigate what happened. I hate to hear facts. Just nobody cares. It's no reason why this case should still be going, why this case should be cold. It's no reason. I could even, like I said before, see if they just simply did not find her. You know, but to not be investigating an clear and obvious suspect, come on. Y'all got to do better. Let me share this. Hold on one second. Let me see. Now this CCTV that I'm getting ready to play. Now this is the video of her going into the ATM. Let's see.
Beyonce's new album is breaking records.
So there's new video in the.
So this is Kiera. Man, that's really appreciated. Like y'all, I told y'all before, any donation really does help. I'm sorry, I'm reading something. Any donation or sponsorship, whatever you want to call it, to my channel really does help. And it really does motivate me to come live a little bit more often. But if I'm being honest, you know, I love doing this for real, for real. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say I would do it for free because, you know, I am monetized. So I don't know if I would be able to get on here and do it for free, even though I was doing it for free at a certain point before I became monetized. Being monetized was eventually the goal. But, you know, I appreciate any cash app that I get. And I also, you know, just want to throw in there that, you know, even without that, I really do enjoy coming on here, kicking it with y'all and, you know, tripping over these cases and all of that. But let's go forward. This is Kiera here. She's walking into, I believe they said this is a Walgreens. She has on different clothes. Remember, both videos are within the same day. Obviously, this is later on at night. And she has on different clothes. It would make sense that she wouldn't have on her postal worker outfit on. This particular day, the postal service, the post office that she worked for said that she called off. In the previous video, she was walking out with a postal service uniform on. However, she had a carry-all bag in hand. It would make sense that she's no longer in her uniform. Now, what I also want to say is, like, remember guys, her I keep bringing this up because it's important. Her lunch for work, her purse and her cell phone were discovered in her car after she went missing, right? She, in that previous video, appeared to be walking from her vehicle to her apartment building. She exits the apartment building with a bag.
New video in the case.
I'm assuming the bag was these clothes or a change of outfit or a change of clothes, because she went and hurried up and grabbed something else to put on because she was not, allegedly, from my speculation, she was not thinking that she was going to call off work that day. So she just grabbed some clothes real quick and ran out with her clothes in a bag and got into the suspect's car, Josh Simmons, allegedly.
New video in the case of a missing postal worker, Kiara Coles. This is her. She's withdrawing cash from an ATM inside a Chatham Walgreens. This was the night she disappeared back on October 2nd, 2018. Well, just minutes before this, Coles could be seen driving off from her apartment with the man detectives now call a person of interest.
I mean, so this is the vehicle. It looks like an SUV. She was seen driving off from her residence. Now we see, I think that's weird too. There's a lot of weird stuff and stuff not being, because how do we have images of her pulling off? This looks like a different angle too, because this white paneling was this is like a different camera, because this white panel to this window, it wasn't in the last video. It was. So I think this is, and I don't remember this. This is a different camera. This is a different angle. All of these trees weren't here, right? So why is it that we don't have any video of that person who they're saying is not Kiara? Why can't we get the video of to see what vehicle she was getting into? Obviously, there's more cameras on the block. This across the street looked more like Kiara's building.
Call a person of interest. That same man then returns to her apartment the next day and leaves her car parked outside. Kiara Coles was 3 months pregnant.
Is that let me look? Is that supposed to be Kiara's SUV? Because now I'm confused. So okay, let me go back.
And leaves her car parked. Person of interest. That and detectives now call a person of interest. That same man then returns to her apartment the next day and leaves her car parked outside. Kiara Coles was 3 months pregnant when she vanished. Yesterday, her mother made a very emotional plea for answers in a video posted online by Chicago police.
Yeah, this is wild. Okay, so let's pull up I want to pull up a picture of, oh shoot, y'all. Can y'all hear me, or am I choppy? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I think y'all can. Yup. Good morning, gorgeous. Height looks similar on both videos. Weight looks similar on both videos. It does look like on the video, the initial video, she had like a jacket on or something. But they look like Kiara she looked like she might be like 5'5". Not short, but not tall, for real. Let me see. Tabby says somebody knows something. They didn't even investigate long. They really didn't investigate that long before they just let it go. Not only that, but the man, Josh Simmons, after this girl went missing, he then left and moved. Some reports are saying that he moved to Missouri, and some reports are saying that he moved to Louisiana. Not really sure where he moved to, but it said, one of the news reporters that I watched said that they found evidence or an address for him in Louisiana and a number for him in Louisiana. Now, when they tried to contact that number, nobody would answer. Lux Pearl says she should have never spoke out at the time and let them do their job. Yeah. Well, you know what? What you mean about the video? Now, here's the thing. Kiara's mom actually didn't speak out at first. So when the police said, hey, we don't think that this is Kiara, mom agreed that she didn't think it was Kiara either because of, the way the person on the video looked. But the police told her not to say anything during that time. So she didn't say anything during that time. But later on, she said something because she figured, shit, the Chicago Police Department, they're not doing anything anyway. So I may as well come out and say something because they're not doing anything anyway. So let me just say it. I don't think that was her. Now, if it was me, I probably wouldn't have said nothing. I would have had to know for sure. Connie said he set her up allegedly. Throwing that in there because I'm just now learning about this story, so I missed a lot. That person of interest is who did it. Yep. I believe allegedly Joshua Simmons unalived this young lady. I believe that he unalived her because she was 3 months pregnant and he didn't want the baby. As simple as that. He already had a baby mama. The baby mama, he already had 2 kids with her. Not to mention Kiera and his baby mama had actually gotten into a physical altercation in the past. And Kiera was banned from her home and could not come back to her home. So my thing is, what type of situation did they have going on? It almost seemed like it was a type of situation where Josh was actively with his baby mama, but Kiera was somebody that he was messing around with for years on the side. Seemed like they both knew about each other and they didn't get along. And it seemed like Josh got himself into a big mess. He didn't want to mess up his family with his baby mama, but he didn't want to leave Kiera alone. But when it got down to when it got real for him, when I say when it got real is when Kiera got pregnant, is when he said, "Oh, I done went too far. I wasn't supposed to get her pregnant." And I think that that's the reason why he unalived her. I really do. I really believe, because come on, y'all, if it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, and quack like a duck, it's a damn duck. Now, if you've been dealing with somebody for 6 years, I could see if that was a side chick or somebody on the side. So you're not going to help the family look for this person because your baby mama, who you're in a relationship with, is going to feel some type of way that you're searching for your side chick. Now, I get that if that was the situation. But for you to pick up and move to Louisiana from Chicago during an open investigation where you were at one point named a person of interest and your baby mama gone too with the kids, come on, this couldn't be more obvious. Like, what type of amateurs do they have working at the Chicago Police Department? I really don't care who get mad about this video, because at the end of the day, y'all, they clearly were not doing their job. There have been missing persons cases solved with less evidence. This is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. I want to put a photo of let me see. I want to put this photo of Josh up real quick. I don't know why I'm putting this photo up, because shoot, everybody know what he looked like. It ain't like he on a run. He just went to Louisiana. He had, if we being fair, he really had every right to go to Louisiana because he was only named a person of interest. Now, y'all, a person of interest and a suspect are 2 different things. He was not named a suspect. He was named a person of interest. He was not under arrest. If he didn't really want to talk to anybody, he didn't have to. But I believe that this guy has something to do with it. Matter of fact, since we talking about the difference, I'm finna look it up because I don't really remember. Hold on one second. Hold on, let me see. Difference. Okay, I have to look that up because I forgot. I knew what it was at one point, but I forgot the difference between the person of interest and the suspect. So I want to look it up for myself, because he was never named a suspect. He was named a person of interest. So obviously there is a difference. Okay. A suspect is accused of committing a crime. A person of interest is believed to have information that will aid in the solving of a crime. And a perpetrator is the person who has committed a certain crime. Okay, all sounds like same apples and oranges. A suspect is someone who has actively been accused of committing a crime. So they have not accused Joshua, or at the time they didn't accuse Joshua Simmons, but they believed that he did have information that would aid them in solving the crime. That is, in my opinion, that's nothing but that. The only thing that's saying is that we think you did it, but we don't have enough evidence to accuse you of it, and that's all that is. We think you did it, but we just don't have the evidence to accuse you of it. That's what I think the difference is. He should have been a suspect. Okay. So, dang, I've been on here an hour already. You know what, y'all? I want to give you all another example real quick. Now, let me know if y'all remember. Matter of fact, y'all, this just happened, right? So there was a case that came out, or a case that happened a while ago. I don't even remember how long ago it came out, but a young man went missing. I believe, I don't want to get the wrong information, but I think he was like 13 or something, 12, 13 years old. They ended up finding him unalived in a attic. Young black boy. Hold on. I want to see what his name is real quick. Jalen Griffin. Jalen Griffin. It's been very much so publicized. And the thing that I find crazy about this is, hold on. The thing that I think is crazy about that case is the fact that he was found 4 years after his disappearance. The police did a press conference where they did like an open statement, basically saying that they exhausted all of their resources trying to find him throughout the years, naming all the different things that they did to find him and this and that. But I don't believe they did much of anything to find him, if I'm being honest. The fact that he was found pretty much within the same vicinity that he went missing just really shows the lack of effort that they put into finding him. How is a young man found within really his own neighborhood? It seemed like very close proximity from where he lived and where he went missing. He actually even had been to the house before. Not only that, the house that he was found in had a history of the police being called on the tenants that had lived there prior. I don't believe proper investigation was done. And next thing you know, the boy was found a whole 4 years later, right down the damn street. Really, it just shows that the police did not do a damn thing to find him, for real, for real. I forgot. A matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up because I want to show y'all just how deep the just. Let's see. Just and when you listen to this, hold on one second. When you listen to the officer that's speaking at the press conference, I don't mean to be jumping around, but I feel like this case is important because it really does show how negligent and uncaring the police are when a black person goes missing. And this right here, when I tell you, come on, when I tell you that if this put them on blast right here, because it showed, how do you say that you've been searching high and low for this person, for this young man, and he right down the damn street? Y'all wasn't looking for him for real. Y'all was not looking for him for real. I'm gonna keep on bringing up the Gabby Petito case because y'all searched high and low for that girl. They brought all type of high technology drones flying all across the desert, and they was the German shepherds and FBI and National Guard and Coast Guard and Nancy Grace, and y'all got all of these people and all of this stuff for the Petito case. But then you find this young man here down the damn street in somebody's attic. So and not only that, but in the video I'm about to show it to y'all, in the press conference, and in some of the evidence, it shows that the body had been there for quite some time. We need more information because I need to see if the young man was unalived in that particular attic or if he was unalived somewhere else and brought to that attic. Because if you mean to tell me that little boy was in that attic for 4 years and no police found him, if anything, with whatever vicinity that young man was in, that is step one, point A police work. Wherever they went missing is the first place you should look. Every house within a 12-mile radius, or maybe not 12, but every house within a 5 to 8 mile radius should have been looked at. Even not, I'm not saying they should have bust in and searched everybody's home, but this home at that point was abandoned. So, or I don't know how long it was abandoned. At the point where he went missing, I think that there were residents that lived in the home. But who's to say how long those residents have been gone and how long that home has been abandoned? So even if they didn't find him during the time where there was residents in the home, you mean to tell me that house was abandoned for however long and nobody went in there to search? Let me pull this up so we can just real quick get the details on, because I forgot myself on, first of all, how he was discovered. Because I want y'all, what I really want y'all to pay attention to is what this guy is getting ready to say. The sergeant here. Hold on. Because he's trying to cover for himself. He's trying to cover for the department. All these ads, y'all. I'm sorry. God damn. I guess I need to pay for okay. So listen to this. Listen to him covering for not doing his job or their job. I thought I was sharing my screen. Hold on, y'all. Let me share my screen because I thought I was sharing it. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Reported to be seen on August 4th, 2020 in the vicinity of his home. The case was handled by the Buffalo Police Department Special Victims Unit. Our Special Victims Unit handles, among other investigations, they handle all missing person cases within the city of Buffalo. They conducted that investigation that began immediately, which included a significant amount of exhaustive efforts, searching numerous homes, locations, searching with cadaver dogs, fields. They also conducted coordinated grid searches within the city of Buffalo.
First of all, this is what I find. This is what sticks out to me. Instead of talking about, first of all, they know they wrong, right? They know they wrong that boy was sitting right on that block in somebody's attic and they couldn't find him, which is why instead of talking about the details of the case, the circumstances of the case, the family, instead of talking about stuff that matters, they're talking about everything that they did to try to find him. They didn't find him. They're talking about everything that they did to try to find him because they're trying to say, we didn't find him. And here's the reason why. Even though we didn't find him, this is what we were trying to do to find him. Because they feel they've been caught red-handed. They weren't doing shit to find him. Because if they were, they would have found him. Let's go back real quick.
Okay, so Jalen was reported missing on August 6th, 2020. Jalen was, through the investigation, Jalen was last reported to be seen on August 4th, 2020 in the vicinity of his home. The case was handled by the Buffalo Police Department Special Victims Unit. Our Special Victims Unit handles, among other investigations, they handle all missing person cases within the city of Buffalo. They conducted that investigation that began immediately, which included a significant amount of exhaustive efforts, searching numerous homes, locations, searching with cadaver dogs, fields. They also conducted coordinated grid searches within the city of Buffalo and in areas outside of the city of Buffalo. We followed up on every tip that came in, including multiple psychics that called in tips, spoke with our detectives, and even based off of those tips, we searched all of the areas that were included based on what those psychics said in an effort to leave no stone unturned. And again, they followed up absolutely every single tip. The department also worked with community groups We know community groups were working independent of the police department, conducting their own searches, putting their own flyers out. And
do y'all hear how long he's talking about everything that the police department did to find this young man? Is that normal, y'all? They don't do this. Normally when a body has been discovered unalive, they do a very short press conference. Oh, we can't release the details of the case, and autopsy is going to be conducted, blah, blah, blah. Lasts for about 3 minutes, and then maybe the family might give a statement for about 2 minutes or maybe less, and then the press conference is over with. This man at this point has been going on 2 minutes about everything that they did. He didn't even brought the sidekicks into it. This is his guilt speaking because they did nothing to find this young man.
We appreciate the efforts that they put out there. We also provided recently a Crime Stoppers flyer, which you can see on the front of the podium back about less than 2 months ago, about a month and a half ago. Well, we're also working with numerous missing persons clearinghouse organizations, having Jalen's information input into those organizations. But unfortunately, our search came to an end on Friday, a little after 10 o'clock in the morning in the 100 block of Sheffield Avenue, where A District officers responded to a report.
He's so full of shit. So he says that at such and such date, our search came to an end, as if their search was the result of finding Jalen Griffin. Their search was not the result of finding him. As he said, our search came to an end because we got a call reporting an unalive body in an attic. So basically, a civilian found him and called the police and said, hey, there's an unalive body in my attic or in this attic that I'm working on. It was probably a construction worker or something, because this home, from what I read, was abandoned at this point. So there was no reason for anybody to be in the attic in the home unless they were working on the home, like a construction worker or something. So somebody called the police and said, hey, this unalive body is here. And now here's the sergeant doing a press conference talking about all the stuff that they supposedly did to find him. But a civilian, a construction worker probably, had to call y'all and say, hey, I know y'all saying y'all it's a body over here. They didn't do nothing. This shows that they don't look for us. He was within the same vicinity of his neighborhood. He wasn't in a landfill. He wasn't in a body of water that they had to use divers to find him. He wasn't buried. He wasn't I don't want to say that word. He wasn't taken apart, scattered around. I don't want to be morbid. He wasn't driven to another state. He was within the same vicinity of where he went missing, within blocks of his own neighborhood. This has got to be a joke. And you want to get your white ass on here and start talking about all the things that the Buffalo Police Department did to find all of that he just said was totally irrelevant. It doesn't even matter what y'all did because y'all didn't find them.
Squad was called to the scene, conducted their investigation, and working with the medical examiner's office, it was quickly put together that the investigation was going to merge with the search conducted by our special victims unit. The body that was located in the house had been there for a significant amount of time. I cannot provide a time frame on that. The ME's office cannot provide a time frame on that.
I bet you can't provide a time frame on it. So he had to be honest. The young man, Jalen Griffin, had been in that same spot for a considerable amount of time. He had been missing for 4 years. So we can only just use our imaginations when it comes to what considerable means or how long he had really been there. And then he goes on to say that we can't really pinpoint how long he was there. He was there for 4 years. And this is no laughing matter, but the police work is laughable. He had been there for 4 years. Just call a thing a thing. He had been there for 4 years and y'all didn't find him up the street.
I'll just leave it that it was up there for in the house for a considerable amount of time, or at least found in a condition that shows that he had been deceased for a considerable amount of time. Through the use of dental records, today, it was positively identified to be that of Jalen Griffin, and unfortunately was found exactly 1 week before his 16th birthday. First and foremost, I do want to extend my sincere sympathies to the family of Jalen. Again, this department has conducted extensive searches, and I want Jalen's family to know.
Why does he keep saying that? Why does he keep saying that the department has conducted extensive searches? If it's true, you don't have to keep saying it. The department didn't look for him, like allegedly, like they should have. And that's why the Jalen had been sitting in that attic for what they say, air quote, a considerable amount of time, aka 4 years, and nobody found him. But he keeps feeling like he has to throw in there, the Buffalo Police Department, we exhausted all of our efforts. No, y'all didn't. Ain't no way y'all did, because we know what it looks like when all efforts are exhausted. We know what it looks like when all efforts are put into place to find somebody. We see helicopters. We know what it looks like when all efforts are being put in place. Let Becky Lou, white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes go missing. Y'all damn near might call President Biden might make a statement. So we know what it looked like when y'all want to find somebody. So for real, I would be offended if I was the family for him playing in my face that my loved one had been in that attic for 4 years and you doing all of this lying right now. Because if y'all really was trying to find somebody, y'all would have found him.
That we are working diligently. We will continue to work diligently to bring the next closure for the family. The first closure was finding Jalen and bringing
to my knowledge, they haven't made any arrest in the case.
Him home. And now we are going to conduct another round of investigations with our homicide squad, continuing work with the Special Victims Unit so that we can bring a next level of closure. We have worked with numerous law enforcement agencies on this case, to include the state police, the FBI. There were other agencies that performed other functions with the use of their cadaver dogs and other technologies. And again, as I said,
y'all, this is almost laughable how he keeps talking about what they did. Do y'all see what he's doing? I mean, the press conference is supposed to be about Jalen, and he's doing nothing. That he has really done nothing except for talk about the Buffalo Police Department and how great they are and all of the efforts they put. I don't even know why he's talking about that, because they didn't even find him. This is laughable at this point. This live is not about this though. This live really was about Kiera Coles, but this is funny, so I'm gonna not the situation is not funny, but how he's trying to BS everybody is funny.
The numerous missing persons clearinghouse organizations as well. There's a host of organizations and groups and people that have been diligently searching for over 3.5 years to find Jalen. And unfortunately, the result is not what we wanted, but we did bring Jalen home, and we will continue to work this.
Oh, he ain't just sit up there and try to take credit. So now he lied. These people surely is good at what they do, ain't they? They good at what they do. If you're not a critical thinker and an analytical listener, you would believe that they found him. If you weren't pausing throughout this and listening intently, you would think that they found him, because all he's talking about is all of the things that they did to find him. And then at the end, he says this.
We'll continue to work this. So I'm now going to turn this over. Searching for over 3.5 years to find Jalen. And unfortunately, the result is not what we wanted, but we did bring Jalen home, and we will continue to work this. So
did he say we brought Jalen home? They didn't bring Jalen anywhere. Somebody found Jalen and they called y'all like, "Hey y'all, what's up? Yeah, it's an unalived body over here." They didn't find, but the fact that he's very cunning in what he just did there. He did tell the truth throughout the video where he did admit that they did not find Jalen. However, right at the end, at the closing, because that's what most people remember, he says, "We brought him home." No, you did not.
I'm now going to turn this over to the acting district attorney, Mike Kane, for some comments.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, we're not gonna listen to his sweaty ass. He about to get on here and lie to greasy motherfucker you. But anyway, I'm getting ready to go ahead and close this out. This was a wonderful live. I really enjoy sitting here breaking cases down with you guys. I got another interesting one coming. It's kind of hard for me to do this throughout the week because I always got so much going on with my job. However, like I did promise, I think I went live maybe 6 days ago. I did promise that I'm going to at least try to go live once a week or possibly every weekend. And hey, you might even get a live from me throughout the week. Like if I got a slow day or something, maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday, and I got something interesting I want to talk about, even if I just want to kick the shit for a couple minutes, I might hit that live button. So thank you guys for joining me. I enjoyed you guys. If you guys want to give me a monetary donation, again, my Cash App is $Phoenix, PHOENIX 20137. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And also make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of any time that I go live. You all have a good night.